Welcome to the EyeCOR video. This time we will show you how to use EyeCOR to look up a procedure, a CPT code. We're going to begin again by selecting Medical Coding and Reimbursement, Procedure, and here we see the information for searching for a procedure. We do have the CPT codes, obviously, also the HCPCS codes, as well as PQRS. Before we actually get into this, let's look at some of the other features that we will not cover in this video. But again, if you're specifically interested in some of these other categories, then call us for a presentation so you can see everything that's in here. Here we have vision and contact lens procedures, other examination types, inpatient exams, nursing home visits, vision therapy, etc. So there's a very robust set of exam or procedure types for those specific categories. As with the diagnosis screen, we can search by a keyword. The keyword can be either a full word, a set of words, anything to describe what you're looking for this particular procedure. A partial code or a full code, so whatever the CPT code is, you can enter it directly and then search. And finally, with the segment of categories where you can search for a specific segment, cornea, anterior psych, etc. We will begin by looking for a fundus photo. So I'm going to simply type in the FUND, the abbreviation, and select the fundus photo. We see on the screen the procedure code 92250, fundus photography, and the fee for your region. Quick note here. Remember, EyeCOR is specific for the regions. Therefore, on these screens, they're set for a particular region. In all likelihood, it is not your region. So this is just an example of what you'll see, the fees and the supporting diagnoses. That does not mean that necessarily for your region. That again is one of the major benefits of EyeCOR. We only show you the information that is specific for your region. Most practice management EHR systems, when they show supporting diagnosis for the procedure, they're showing something that is typically out of date, as well as national averages. They are not specific for your region. Back to the procedures and the supporting diagnoses. Here are the ICD-10 codes that support the particular procedure, fundus photography. Let's take a look at these two. Here we have the C69 codes. And notice they're only in the OD and OS columns. That means there is no ICD-10 code bilateral. Notice also, unlike the diagnosis screen, here in the procedure screen, we are not showing you unspecified codes. That's intentional because you should not bill unspecified, and if they were included as a number of EHR systems, then you will be denied, or ultimately at some point in the future may have additional reimbursement that you will have to repay because you did use an unspecified code. It is a scrollable list, so I'm going to quickly go down, and here we're into the H codes, which are for eye care, and here we see, in this case, pre-glaucoma, and it is for right, left, and bilateral. The descriptions are the ICD-10 proper descriptions. That's one of the things that we see in a number of practice management systems, both originally with ICD-9 and they've continued this with ICD-10. They use diagnosis descriptions that do not match diagnosis codes, which in many instances leads to selection of the incorrect code. Another thing we have here, and we saw this on the diagnosis screen, the note EyeCOR pearls, just we talked about before, as well as anything coding critical. Notice at the top, EyeCOR informs you that this procedure requires an interpretation and report. If you simply click it, it automatically goes into the interpretation report for the selected procedure. We'll get into interpretation reports in a separate video. I would like to quickly show you one other benefit of EyeCOR. In this case, I've entered plugs for looking up punctal plugs. Well, I selected it. It is a surgical procedure that is fairly commonly used. So once again, I've got my procedure code. I have the diagnosis code that support it. For every procedure, we actually show you whether it's unilateral, bilateral, or unilateral, bilateral with its definition. One more important benefit for your practice is that EyeCOR displays the current fees for that procedure specifically for your region. Most practices, when they first install EyeCOR, say that our fees are higher than their usual and customary fees. What that means is they've been losing money all along. This was a very brief introduction to the contents of the EyeCOR screen. But why? What is the advantage of EyeCOR for you and your practice? Simply put, just looking at this screen, you look up a procedure, you see all the supporting diagnoses. Well, many practice management EHR systems and some other systems provide you with that same information. But what's the difference? The difference is, number one, this information is constantly updated. We have all the information for every region updated on a regular basis. In fact, we update on average every 2 to 4 weeks. So your information is current. Also, it is specific for your region, and that is something that none of the practice management, none of the EHR systems have. Their information is generic. It is not specific for your region. We've had many people that have compared what we offer and what their particular system offers, and they say that EyeCOR always allows them to bill more currently. It provides, more importantly, higher reimbursement. And isn't that what every practice is looking for? EyeCOR has many features and functions that will benefit your practice throughout. That's why we encourage you, for more information, contact us to schedule a presentation. That way you and your staff can see all the benefits of EyeCOR and how it will benefit your practice. I would also like to thank you for reviewing this video, and all of us on the EyeCOR team hope to hear from you as another valued EyeCOR client. Thank you.